Hey, what's happening? What's happening? It's your boy Bubbles Sparks. No, prior to this moment, I'm checking out Wake and Bake America. How could you not be listening to Wake and Bake? Holding down with Cammy, Renee, and Mr. Trey. All the way, twice on Sunday. Y'all probably ain't on Sunday, but it's all good. Y'all should be.
Copy written, so what? Don't copy me.
Good morning, evening, and afternoon, depending on where you're at in the world, because you know the world love you, and I love you. I love you, little cute little world with your cute little dirt, little planet dirt with your cute little cute self, so adorable little dirt. Hi, Chris.
Howdy, partner.
I don't know. I just random with that. I'm not gonna lie, that was pretty random, even for me. So of course, welcome to the show, Chris. Welcome to everybody listening. Shout out to Sick Teas. Because if you're gonna sick tease these nuts right in your mouth. Shout out to the Jamies out in Pueblo West. Much love. Today's show is gonna be about gambling, about addiction, about all those wonderful little weird problems in the world, right? And so I just want to say that if you have a gambling or addiction problem, 1-800-GAMBLER, that's 1-800-GAMBLER for free help and for free access to solutions and for free, like ways to find like counseling and therapy, because sports betting, like any addiction, is a real addiction. And we just want to give you an outlet that if you get a chance to listen to this show, it's obviously sports betting, the new Pandora's box, right? I want to make sure that we're giving an outlet for those folks so that, look, I'm going to say some fucked up shit about gamblers, but I also am not a degenerate gambler. It might, it might be offensive to you if you're a gambler. Okay? Because I find gambling to be deplorable unless it's amongst friends. Damn, I just murdered the in-house device. Yeah, I killed it. Yeah, I don't think it's going to come back on. Just leave it. Just let it go. It's okay. Love you. Bye-bye. Okay, so, but before we can get into this Pandora's box of sports betting, Chris, please, since you did do sports ball puck stuff last night,
yes, sir.
Talk to us a little bit. So you went to, I don't want to steal too much thunder, but I'm gonna lead you in, obviously, because I'm a good friend and I'm a good host and a good anchor. So you went to a sports ball puck event. I don't want to say what. I just want to say that I utterly fucking despise the team you went to go see. Like, to the core of me, it's like, for that sport, it's the team I literally fucking hate the most in that sport. So God bless you for being a fan of that team.
We still love you, though.
I know.
Yeah,
hey, listen, ask them fans how they feel about us over here in the mountains, and they'll tell you the same shit. Let's be honest.
Oh yeah. Without a doubt, there's no doubt about that.
So
yeah,
let's talk about that. Go ahead.
I got the opportunity last night to go to a Red Wings game for the very first time.
Okay, sick.
And
hockey's fun.
Yeah. I know you hate Red Wings, but that's okay. We still love you.
I love hockey, though.
Right. And yeah, I found out that my better half actually likes hockey. I was like, well, then we got to go because I've never been. And I got some cheap tickets through the union that I work for. So we went to the Red Wings game last night, and
Nice.
even though we lost by a point, it was still a really good game. Yeah, there was like 3 or 4 fights. It was a blast.
For the record, 3 or 4 fights and you guys losing is like an on-brand good night for me. Let me just let you know that.
Right.
But for you, I understand that might be a rough loss. Gotcha.
No, there were some good fights. That's the whole reason why I think a lot of people like hockey. It's one of the more physical. Well, it's one of the more physical sports.
Well, not just that, but when it comes to Detroit, if you know anything about like hockey and hockey, first off, you're probably going to end up with a fight anyway.
Right.
But no, I just think that with hockey, how do I put this? Hold on, I'm trying to figure something out too at the same time. Oh God, yeah. I know why they're fighting. Hold on, what's their record? How many points back are they? Oh yeah. Oh, okay. See, that's why you're fighting so much. Okay. So there comes a point where you can't risk fighting too much because you have a chance. And then you pull up the Red Wings record, and you're like, you guys are 38-25. If you get into the playoffs, you pretty much have to win out. I think at this point. I mean, that's not even a joke.
Yes. Yes.
I may be wrong on the math, but I can't be too wrong. You get what I'm saying?
No,
Ain't much
no,
time left.
no, we're like on the cusp of that wild card spot. You know what I
The first
mean?
round is coming up in weeks, dude. Like, fun
Right.
fact: a few weeks from now, a year ago, Mom and I went to the team I hate in the West the most. Funny enough, the Dallas Stars. Hey, isn't it funny how that worked that's way in? The team you went to is the team I hate in the East, and the team I went to go watch us in the playoffs last year is the team I hate the most in the West. But no, if you ever get to go to a playoff game, go. Mama Bear is like, oh my God, this is like the most fun I've ever had at a sporting event. I'm like,
Right.
the playoffs are just built different, boo.
Yeah. Yeah.
It
I
was a
mean, the
great
Red.
ninth year together trip.
Yeah, the Red Wings came off a loss to Philly, I believe it was, the
Wait,
night
wait, I got.
before.
Did you guys stay in Detroit after the game, or
Uh,
did you drive home?
we yeah, we drove home. We actually
Uh-oh.
Ooh,
with no drinking, no
you
DUIs.
one of us was lit when we went to Denver. It wasn't Mama though. It was me. It was definitely me. We all know that.
Right.
She didn't drink.
It
I do.
was right. Uh, we went in early and had burgers at a joint that my buddy suggested we stop at. A
Okay.
place called Basement Burgers, where you actually build like your own hamburger, and you pick the whole thing. Your bun you pick, your meat you pick, your toppings and sides and shit. It was amazing. And so we did that before the game, and then we enjoyed the game until I think it was like 10:30 ish, and then we kind of walked around the area down there because the Fox Theater's right there, and uh, Ford Field is right there, and Co-America Park for the Detroit Tigers is all right there, you know. So we went and checked out all that stuff before we actually left town, so that traffic could die down, you know.
Yeah, I'm usually like that too. I'm like, we can slow walk it and let people get out of here that are, really dicks
Ye-
that just want to run away. I'll quick
Yep.
like and be pricks about it.
I'm not in a hurry. Home ain't going nowhere. But yeah, it was a really good time. I enjoyed myself. I'll definitely be going to another hockey game for sure.
That's funny.
I wish we had a soccer team out here.
I wish. Wait, you do? You don't know about your soccer
Who?
team?
No, I
So,
don't.
yeah, I fucking hate them too, actually. They're the team from the East I fucking hate the most. I
You're
don't, dude,
welcome.
honestly, I don't know what it is. It's just something about. So, okay, so they have a team. What is Detroit's team name again? I forget because like we're the Colorado Springs Switchbacks,
Uh-huh.
USL Detroit. You don't have an MLS team though, which I get that. Oh, you guys are just called Detroit City. That's right. You don't have like a name like a mascot name.
Oh,
I mean, you
that's
have a mascot. Don't
gay.
get me wrong. I'm not an idiot, but I'm just saying you don't have a mascot name. Which anybody who
Right,
knows traditional soccer clubs generally at times do not have a mascot name like Sporting Jacksonville, Indy 11.
right,
Um, but then you have somebody like Colorado Springs that technically their team name is Colorado Springs, and then it's Switchbacks
right.
is the team mascot or logo. Well, technically our mascot is a straight up stoner looking dreadlock hippie goat. His name is Ziggy. His name is Ziggy. Like as in like Ziggy from Quantum Leap. Like you can't make
Yeah.
this up, bro. Like we are a bit of like those. We've been called uppity nerds here before, and I'd almost agree with you. Colorado Springs is kind of an uppity nerd town compared to the
Yeah.
places around us, which is like Orale in Pueblo, and Denver
Yeah.
is just big city living regardless. And then everyone around us is like, howdy, y'all. And then we're like
Yeah. Right.
we're uppity and educated here. It's expensive to live. I mean, honestly, it's hard to find a good job if you don't have a decent education up here. I'm not lying. Like, I want to move to another town
Yeah.
and go to Pueblitos where in Pueblitos, I'm valued as a valued employee. And in Colorado Springs, I am a fast food worker. No, I'm just playing. I
Right.
mean, Not too short
Mexico.
off, though. I'm not going to lie to you. Not too short off. Let me see here. So, well, I'm really glad you had a fun time. I think that spousal trips for sporting events should be a thing. Um,
Absolutely.
Me and Mama said, well, so me and Mama got to go on a honeymoon to the Ricos, and that's going to take a lot of money and a lot of like payback time, right? And getting it all right again time.
Right.
But I will say this: me and Mama's why we going to hit the Ricos because we want something one of those trips you can trip of a lifetime trip you talk about for the next 15, 20 years.
Yeah, right.
The trip that's so expensive and so hard to reduplicate that you can't reduplicate that kind of trip, right?
Right, right.
But I did tell her, I said, once we do that, I said, probably in a few years down the road, I said, we'll go. I want to take her to a luxury box game at the Switchbacks, which plays your Detroit City team, the team called
Right.
Detroit City. So basically, your team, so think like baseball, Major League, AAA.
Uh-huh.
Detroit's got a AAA ball club. Does that make better
Right.
sense?
Yeah.
Just like Colorado Springs has a AAA soccer club. We're the second tier. We're the second and most competitive tier in the U.S. after the MLS. Absolutely, 100%.
Oh no shit.
We have players in our league that compete on their national teams. I mean, we had a player on our team, Juan Tejada. Ain't nobody hotter than Tejada, baby. Juan Tejada, man, he's got the greatest hair ever. But anyway, he played for the Panama's national team. But anyway, the Panamanians. I got it right. Oh yeah, I love when I get the country right. Okay, so I just want to say, have fun with that. If you really want to get into some USL soccer, they're just getting started up, and Detroit City definitely has a schedule. Definitely been playing. Definitely been at it. I'm looking at their schedule right now. They got a game. Actually, they got a game on Saturday. I think they're on the road in Charleston, and they're back in town in April on the 4th for you guys. So
Oh,
definitely look into that, man. But anyway, me and Mom are
yeah.
going to go to like a box. So if they make the playoffs this year, we already said we'll foot the 500 or so bucks for luxury seats where all your food and drink is included.
All
And
right.
I'll have a DD because Mamos will be with me. Last time I drove myself, so I can only have a couple during the first half.
Yeah,
This
right.
time, hey, switchbacks. I'm coming back to my money's payback time. Hey boys, I'm back. No, but I told her we got to do luxury seats if we make the playoffs. I said it's really worth it for the playoffs more than anything. If we make the playoffs and we
Right.
have a home playoff game, it's really worth it then. Because we can, what I'm
It's
going to
more
do the
hype.
following year is I'm just going to buy us luxury box seats for the entire, the entire like what I'll probably do is buy it at the end of 2027 when I have some money saved up, and it'll be for the entire 2028 season. I'm just going to buy luxury box seats, private entrance, living like a king, food and drink provided every home game, and then maybe there's like 12 or something or 14 home games. I'll give like one home game to my son-in-law and my daughter-in-law, just so they can have a date night and have free food. And if
Right.
you don't like soccer,
Right.
you get treated like a freaking king at a private entrance. I mean, come on.
Right.
And
Yeah, that'd
then
be a blast.
with free drink. But don't screw up, man. Those are my seats. If you get my seats taken, I'll kill you.
Yeah, right.
So I'll throat punch you. Then I'm gonna kill you. Then I'm gonna throat punch your corpse because it's that big of a violation. I think. No,
Yeah.
seriously. So I'm like I said, just sports ball puck stuff with your spouse. Like I said, even if your spouse and you aren't sports ball puck people, like Cammy just loves going to live events, especially sporting events. Music is
Right.
probably her second favorite after sporting stuff. It's weird. You know what she
Yep.
likes? I think so why she likes sporting events is because it's not like a music event. Like music events, it's just constantly loud. Like it can be
Yeah.
headache loud. You know what I mean?
Right.
Um, and I think that that's probably part of it for her, I'd imagine. So anyway, let's dive right into this boogerific lifestyle we call, um, the shame of it all. Obviously, sports betting, huge Pandora's box. Um, we've seen a lot of stuff go down, but Chris, I think before we can talk about illegal and legal sports betting either way, we have to go back, way back into time.
Heat Rose back.
Okay, not that far, but honestly, you're a little bit older than me, so bravo for Charlie Hustle reference there. You definitely get a kudos call for the Charlie Hustle reference. But no, I wasn't even talking about Pete Rose. For me, so I knew about Pete Rose. Okay,
Right.
100% as a kid. I definitely knew about Pete Rose as a player. I knew about Pete Rose as a coach. And other than that, I knew he got in a lot of trouble. Okay. And that's about it as a kid, right? And by the way, shout out to live listener checking in saying, I won $800 this weekend. Okay, so just spit in the face of my about to shite in the face of sports betting while he pisses in my face with, suck it, I won $800. Say something about that, dummy. And you know what can I say about that? I literally can't say anything about it. You know what you're going to hear me say about that? Listen, I'm using crows because I don't have a crickets. If I had crickets, I would have played a cricket sound, just for the record. Um, but yeah, nothing. I got nothing on you. You won $800 sports bet. Shut the fuck up. But I'm also, quite frankly and politely put, only referencing illegal sports gambling. And generally, illegal sports gambling is going to be through alternative avenues which aren't certified and backed by John Q government, right? And
Right,
then
because we
yeah,
still have states that aren't legal.
well, and there's certain reasons in places where like only certain types and this, that, or the other, and you can bet on this, but you can't bet on that, and this, that, and the other, and states' rights, and blah 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 blah. So you're right, it's not just clean cut and dry. But I'm going to tell you, for my first experience with sports betting, not me sports betting, just for all the assholes out there, actually goes back to well, for me it goes back to 1994 in the 90s, but it goes back to 1994 when more specifically Stephen Smith and Isaac Burton. I had to write this down. But even I knew Stephen Smith, but even Stephen Smith, and you always remember him because it's Ian at the end instead of Ian like it's supposed to be, because
Yeah.
Stephen was up in this illegal gambling. Got him, got him. Even over 3 decades later, burned. Anyway, so and then Isaac Burton conspired with gamblers to fix four Arizona State Sun Devils games, and by manipulating the point spread, and by not and basically by not hitting the point spread or keeping the games close enough, um, the a guy by the name of Benny Salaman wagered over $500,000 on these games, resulting in federal convictions for the players and the gamblers involved. And I'm telling you, you got to think about like the way that ended was really more important. That obviously the investigation that was led by the FBI revealed a major organized gambling operation that significantly impacted Arizona State's basketball program. And I told people those convictions of Stephen Smith, who did a year, Isaac Burton, who got 2 months in jail, and 6 months of home detention, he got a light sentence because he had never been in real trouble. You know what I'm saying? And then of course Benny Silman, who was the sort of the ringleader of it all, on the outside of the game, on the outside of the team, right? He ended up getting 4 years in federal prison. And like I said, it took over 2 decades for the Arizona State program to really recover to really the fun times of Bobby Hurley and being on the bubble recently, right? Like that's just now when Arizona State basketball got decent again, because
Yeah,
no
it's,
one wanted to coach there. No one wanted to come there, Chris. That's just the end of it.
yeah, yeah. Because I mean, this is the other bad side to sports gambling that a lot of people don't realize is that you know a game can be influenced really easy,
Yeah, right,
and
right.
that was the big problem back then when there was more blemish on the whole issue of gambling in general on
Absolutely.
sports activities. And even in the states that it's legal now, I mean, you still kind of have to worry about people that are actually involved with the game and playing the game and so on and so forth, you know, making these games swing one way or another. And then the sport just kind of gets a black blemish on it and may make certain people not enjoy it.
Honestly, I could not agree more. I mean, quite frankly, for me personally, at least, right? I'll be real with you, man. I legitimately have gambled probably a handful of times in my life on sports or gambling in general, outside of friendly wagers on a game of spades or dominoes, or even with Cammy on like a sports ball puck game.
Right.
That's it. I'm just not a gambler, man. I'm really not. Um, I'll bet like the dishes, like who's gonna do the dishes, man? Like dumb stuff. I don't like giving my money up though, man. Like I like going on trips and vacation and living my best
Right,
life and buying some of the better weed instead of the bottom shelf, you know?
right, for sure.
And
And
honestly, when I buy
that's
bottom shelf, I'm like, fuck, I could have grew this. When I go to the weed store, I don't want to buy something I could have grew. I want to buy something that is marginally better than my capability because that's fair.
right, for sure. And there are people out there that do really good with sports gambling. Don't get me wrong, but you got to think about the other
Well,
100
I mean, Pryor
people
in the
that
comments just said, I made $800 last week and suck it. I mean, what do you say to that? I got nothing.
I mean, during the football season this year, I made 7 grand to put down on my Jeep for a down
Wait,
payment.
what?
So, I mean,
Hold on.
yeah,
Wait. Whoa, whoa, whoa.
yeah.
What?
I bet every time my team was playing for fantasy football by players, I would gamble on them. And I did quite well this year. Not just in the game itself, but
What do you mean, like taking prop bets? Like he's going to score 2 touchdowns? I got him in fantasy. I know he will.
right.
Oh, shit. You're
And,
serious.
and, and playing the parlays and
See, I think I could be good at the guessing the game outcome, right?
right.
Like winners, because on any given Sunday, and so I think I'd have to. I think so. It's complicated. I think on certain games, I would easily find easy marks for the spread. But I think on most games, I'd want to stay away from that and just bet the line. And
Well,
that's because I can generally just tell you they're going to win. They're going to lose. They're going to
well, see,
win. If you were betting every Colorado Avalanche game to win this season in hockey, you'd want a fuckload of money because they only lost like 14 games, dude.
right, right, exactly. And I mean,
Oh, wait, the
with
over
these,
under, though, is probably not that great for that, though. You know what I mean?
but
Like, you might have to bet $1,000 to win 200.
oh no, it's. I don't know how hockey
He
would work,
giggled
but
hard. Oh my God, he giggled so hard. I can't even take it because that means that was bad. That means it's bad.
like you can bet on so many weird things for most sporting events, like for football instance. I mean, you can bet on the fact that he may make a 20-yard run or a 50-yard field goal. Who's going to score the next touchdown? It's crazy. There's so many different things you can bet your money on. It's ridiculous.
I think the last time I gambled on sports was like 2 years ago. I think I got like a $50 gift card. So instead of using that $50, I was going to buy crap on Amazon. I put that into a sports betting thing and bought the crap with the gift card, you know? And
Right,
I had some fun with it. I ended up gambling on that money from the Super Bowl for a couple, maybe 3 more weeks into hockey because I
right,
didn't win anything worth cashing out, but I won enough to keep it rolling.
right, right.
Also,
And
I did do it
ultimately,
once during hockey. I got to tell you, man, I might do this during the Avalanche hockey playoffs.
play
No, because I know the
playoffs.
team so well that like I was picking parlays or picking like, I'm going to put $5 that Nathan McKinnon scores a goal. I'm going to put,
Right.
but I'm also going to throw 5 more bucks that this dude that hasn't scored in 3 games is going to score. And I was just getting lucky as fuck, dude. Like lucky as fuck.
Right. Right. And ultimately there's nothing wrong with gambling in a whole, but if you can't control, like, set yourself a limit. If you go over that limit, you got to stop. And some people don't have that control because
I
they think,
agree.
oh, this next one I'm gonna win. I'm gonna win it all back and blah blah. That don't always work. Chasing
Yep.
money that you hope you're gonna get don't always work.
Yeah, the old adage, don't bet what you don't have to already lose. Mean it should be money that
Right.
could have been spent without a consequence already. But if you're
Right.
betting to try to make money to like pay bills,
Right. You're gonna lose. Yeah. You're going
oof,
to lose more than
that's a
likely.
dangerous game to be playing with. Sports betting addiction problems are so serious that it is a dangerous game that people play with their family's future, their kids' college funds, their
Right.
retirement. And in some cases, the financial consequences are so bad that it costs them their wives, their husbands, their lives.
Their homes.
Cost you your home, and your wife will lose you. I would never.
Right.
I
But
told the person I'm about to marry, there's like only like three things I could possibly do that you would divorce me for. But financial ruin with intent and not accident is absolutely, I would say, one of them. I would say that I came from from such a poor background that I might want to really, 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 really be mad at you for a long time for ruining us financially to where we have to now file bankruptcy or recover, and it not be something like medical bills, which you can't control, right? Just something stupid
yeah,
you did
yeah,
with intent. Yeah, I'm going to be pissed, but I'm not divorcing my wife over that. We're in this for the long haul.
right,
Do need some help, and if you do it again, I'm out. You get one fair warning on that. But no,
right.
I'm pretty much a simple person. If you're into drugs or you're fooling around, I'm out. That's the end.
Yeah,
Hard drugs. I mean, obviously, you smoke pot or want to take
yeah,
a shroom or a hit of acid. I'm not a hater. I'm not about hard
right.
drugs. If you're taking hard drugs, and then I'm out because I don't want that around me. I want to be the worst person I've ever been around anymore. I'm being
Right.
honest. I told that to her one time. I said,
Yeah,
"Listen, I picked you because you're so much better than me. You could still make up at least a couple more mistakes, and you still couldn't be worse than me."
right, right. Uh, but yeah, I mean, ultimately, people just try to be responsible. If you need help, there are programs and people you can talk to. I mean, think about your future before you think about that next bet.
1-800 gambling or gambler. I mean, sorry. You know, get on there, get you some resources, get you some help. We can't stress that enough as we move forward with this. So, in college sports, a major federal investigation that was unsealed in January of this year did show that there was a huge point shaving scandal that involved 39 NCAA Division One basketball players that were playing on 17 teams, and they this incident itself, which is probably one of the more recent ones, barring what we're going to talk about that happened late last year, obviously with the NBA. Um, but This ring apparently ran through 2022 to 2025. Um, Players were often bribed between $10,000 and $30,000 to intentionally underperform and influence maybe first half point spreads, etc., losing games, so forth. Um, it's pretty bad though. We're talking about 26 people charged, which includes players, trainers, gamblers, and for all of their roles involved in this scandal. This is probably the most recent worst one, right? Um, and what I think what's going on here is where this is where NIL money needs to be better and betterly distributed, because I think what you're seeing here is these aren't, you know, I'm not going to say that it's never a star player. Can I say that? I'm not going to say that it's never a star player. I understand that sometimes superstars do break the rules, and there have been many superstars with gambling problems. I would just cite something simple like Charles Barkley or Michael Jordan, right? I think that it is a tough sell to not understand that these kids that were involved in these scandals of recent, I think, are marginally taken advantage of because they aren't $1 million NIL babies
Right.
and they need money.
Yep. For paying for school.
And 30 racks takes care of you for the year.
Right. And I think this college uh sports betting and the influence that has put blemishes on certain colleges because these players have been influenced by money is pretty hurtful, I guess you would say, in a way. Like, how
Mhm.
why are these people taking advantage of these kids that are just trying to make a career for themselves, hopefully
100%.
one day? And because they're down and out and these wealthier people see this, they go to these kids trying
Oh,
to
yeah.
use them. to make themselves more money and don't give two shits about these kids that are just trying to get an education and maybe try to make a sports career someday.
You know, and I couldn't agree more but like I said, I think the problem is that these aren't the superstars that are getting these, multi-million dollar NIL
Right.
deals. No, no, no. It's the kid that was a walk on, maybe barely just got on scholarship, and is, for lack of a better words, taking the money because they need it. And look,
Yeah.
I'm not going to condone breaking the rules ever. Most people that know me, I like to bend the rules, but I am not a rule breaker. I've never been a rule breaker. I have very much understood that the one concept of law or rules, right? Rules are just the law of that situation or land, right? One thing I've understood in the concept of rules or the law of the land is that you can bend a rule and you might even get away with it by bending it. But the minute you literally break that rule, that's where you're up the creek. It's just that simple. Real quick, here, Chris,
Yes.
quick station identification.
This is your station.
I like this right here.
The People's Station. Monuments, Falcon, and Pandoras.
Here comes the heat, y'all.
Yeah, baby.
Yep.
Yeah, baby. And then Flint and then Detroit, where they got really horrible soccer and hockey. No, I just kidding. All right, it was a cheap shot. Anyway, I'm like, that's not a rim shot. That's just a cheap shot. Simple and plain. That is like back of the bar, drunk me, cheap shot. All right, so I think another facet that we can just really touch on and move on quickly from, but just point out though that as well as, going back to as far as you can imagine the organized crime facet of this and, the criminal crime families, the criminal underworld, you got the Black Sox scandals of the 1919 when Shoeless Joe Jackson and the Chicago White Sox players, some of the players that conspired to lose the World Series in sports corruption with the mafia, right? Well, I don't know if that was the one was with the mafia. I'm sorry, but organized crime, though, one way or another, has had a big part of it. But I'm pretty sure that the 1919 Black Sox thing did involve rigged bets and money laundering vis-a-vis the mafia for sure. It was Chicago, for God's sakes. I mean, if it didn't
Oh
involve the
yeah.
mob,
We're talking
honestly, if
Al
mafia, if it
Capone
did
and
involve you, then shame on you because in 1919 it clearly should have. Like, I got more respect on your name than that.
people like Al Capone and
Right?
Lucky Luciano and
Well, then don't forget the Irish guys too.
oh
Um,
yeah.
and because I think it was what was it I want to say the Italians had the south side and the Irish had the north side, if I remember right, or something like
Yeah,
that.
something like that,
To
yeah.
that effect, yeah. But anyway, so and excuse me. And when you think about the organized crime facet, the mafia elements of coercion, from everything from collecting debts to the threat of death and death of loved ones, worse, rigging games, so much that has come up. I mean, there was even recently where there was a crime family that was indicted for running a sports betting illegal operation. And what it is people who don't. So first off, you do understand that in the real sports betting world, you have to have it to bet it. Like in the lawful sports betting world, you understand that, right? Like you can't you can't loan shark it. Do you understand what I'm saying?
Okay, the Irish run the South Side.
Oh, I had it backwards.
Yep, Irish run the South Side in Chicago.
Okay. Now or then? Did you put in 1919?
I did not. Because I
Ah,
guess
that might be right now, bro. Hey, look,
they
real
probably
recognize
are
real. The
they
the
probably are still
underground crime
going.
world is still existing.
Right.
Honestly, if the underground crime world, let me tell you something. Underground crime world. Not that I should be giving you outlets and telling you how to, actually get away with stuff, but hear me out here. If you committed less violence and you just sold drugs and, you know, honestly, you got to stay away from like kidnapping and extortion and things like that and murder because that's where you really ruin a place. Honestly, drug addicts in a sense do ruin a place because if you're doing the drugs and then stealing and, the dealers ruin the place by doing their bit to provide the drug to the addict, right? But honestly, guys, at this point, with the way violence is on the uptick, listen, if y'all just stop murdering, I don't even care what you do. I'm gonna mind my business. I don't want no part of nobody doing anything. You want to know why? Because much like a wonderful sloth on a cartoon taught me that you
Okay.
at times should choose life.
Okay, here's the updated version. In 1990, the primary Irish mob in Chicago, known as the North Side Gang or the North Side Mob, established its territory on north side of Chicago. Founded in 1919, this gang was led by Dean O'Brien and controlled the working class neighborhoods within the 42nd and 43rd Ward, including areas around North Clark Street, the Gold Coast, and the River North area.
All I hear is I'm right. Anyway. All right, so couple other scandals that we want to definitely dive into before we get out of here. So let's go to the NFL probably has done probably the better. I'll word it lightly, right? The NFL has done the better of the efforts against illegal sports gambling by players and
Yeah.
so forth. I mean, there was now I will tell you though that in 2023 during the offseason, there were more players that were suspended in 2023's offseason for violating betting policies than in all prior seasons combined of the NFL. So I do
Wow.
want to throw that out to context. There were at least 15 players that have been publicly suspended for gambling related violations in the modern era. Most of the significant surges, of course, again, taking place in 2023, obviously, right? But yeah, um, so even the NFL, I got this on lock, whatever you want to call it, the no fun league, as some people call it, right? Uh, they clearly figured out a way to do better in that aspect, right? Um, but still, not impervious to the problem because clearly 15 NFL players have been publicly suspended. Um, and then, of course, um, as of September of 2025, no players had been suspended for gambling violations since the 2023 infractions took place. I think they kind of got a lot of people's attention with that. Like, you want to make $1 million sports betting when you don't make $1 million as a player. Oh, I got you. Make you over the
Oh,
coals. I'll make you leave the league so you don't have to pay the fines. You know what I mean? If
you're
that's even possible.
I got a tidbit of information you might be interested in.
Oh, yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Based on recent reports, scandals, and expert analysis, guess who is the worst one?
So, are we talking pro or are we including college? Like, which one?
G- globally.
Globally for
Yeah.
illegal sports betting? Hold on,
Yes.
hold on. I'm going to actually say then soccer.
You're right.
Because soccer is played in places where the mafia is king and the president is not. You feel
Right.
me? So I know them
Right.
motherfuckers got some illegal sports betting going on in soccer. Oh, damn it. I tried
You were right.
illegal
Yeah,
sports betting in soccer. So you have to look at the key factors there. Have a little common sense, humanity. Listen to me here. Have common sense, key factors here. He said globally, A. B, then that already nixes the NFL and all these other most of North American based
oh
sports
yeah.
out because they're not
True.
even the most popular sports on the planet. Basketball and baseball are actually, I think, 2 and 3 basketball or basketball then baseball, maybe I think it is.
All right.
Um, and that's all. But I'm telling you, people would be shocked at how popular basketball and baseball are internationally. I think people would be blown away by how important cricket and rugby are in other places, while they're just not the big things in North America. And
All
people
right.
who are like, well, why isn't the NFL that popular? I'm like, why isn't a sport that's only played in North America with only North
Right.
American teams, only popular in only the number one sport in North America? But after that, it falls to like fourth, fifth, sixth, who knows, right?
Yeah.
Why?
Okay.
I know why. Because it's not as popular as you think. But no, listen, soccer's played everywhere. That was the first dead giveaway.
Yeah.
It's also played in places where like illegal things are atrocious. So that kind of just, I was like,
Right.
I'm a study of world crime and world sports. I put two and two together. Don't give me too much credit here, guy.
Yeah, right. Okay,
There may
so
be a lot more common sense going on here and a lot less intelligence.
globally, soccer is the worst. Individual sport is tennis.
Oh, honestly, I would have guessed probably tennis or golf because they're the only few individual things out there that I think people would wager a lot on.
Right. Baseball being next, and MLB baseball.
I like
And
how they
then,
try to separate the motherfuckers because, again, baseball is played where the mafia runs
yeah,
Mexico as an
yes,
example.
yes.
So if there were to be illegal sports betting, I'd start there, yeah. And then you can go overseas to baseball is played in places like Korea and China and Taiwan and places where there is a little mafiosa. Dude, there's like illegal sports fucking betting on Little League Baseball, bro.
Right,
Like,
right,
seriously, in some
right.
countries. Like, I'm not
Okay.
betting on, listen to me. I'm not betting on whether Aiden from West Texas can hit a home run. Fuck you.
Okay, after baseball, we have basketball, college, and NBA.
By the way, when you talk about basketball, can I just throw it out there that in
Yeah,
October of 2025, that's where the other major implication comes in of recent illegal sports betting that was uncovered. So anyway,
right.
there's just to touch base before you move on to the rest of this list. So since he mentioned basketball in college, and we did talk about the college tour, I didn't talk about
Yep.
the other NBA story that broke in October of last year, where NBA players, coaches that were involved in a betting and rigged, not only a betting scandal, but rigged poker games. Key figures included people from of course, Terry. The most prominent was Terry Rozier from the Miami Heat, the guard from the Miami Heat, and Portland Trailblazers coach Chauncey Billups, of course. By the way, did I ever tell you I met Chauncey Billups and got to play basketball with him when I was in high school?
Yeah.
He was at CU Boulder. True story. And he was doing some, I don't know, youth outreach thing, and we got to play basketball with him. It was pretty cool. But anyway, alongside former players like Damon Jones, were all accused of using insider information to win sports bet props, participating in a mafia-backed poker scheme. And look there's the mafia again. The mafia name in there. And folks, don't be fooled and think, hey, paisano and orale homes as the only mafias out there. No, there's the Irish
No.
mob, the Italian mob.
Yeah.
Dude, you want to fuck you up? Oh my God. So forget the obvious ones like the Jewish mob, right? Forget the obvious ones like there's literally a mafia type group within, let's go, the Mormons. Yeah,
I
blow your
can believe
fucking
that.
mind, man. Blow
Yeah.
your fucking mind, man. But you know what one really fucked me up was? I'm putting that coffee cup hard on the table. I've got to set the cell phone down, goddamn. Because you got to be motherfucking kidding me, Chris. You got to be motherfucking kidding me. You know what mafia that exists in the entire planet that fucked me up? And I'm not even talking about the gay mafia in the jails. No. Knew about that too. You just watch enough prison shows, you learn, right? You know what
Right.
mafia existence on this weird ass planet I live on that fucked me up to the T? It really was
What's
the
that?
Amish mafia. You fucking around, right? You fucking around with me, right? It's real too. They got a fucking
Oh, I
series.
know. I know.
I was like, wait a minute, what? Like he was like one of my things because I was like, oh, he's like, it's straight. This is why you can't watch too much porn unless you do it from like incognito anymore because the suggestions will blatantly say you watch porn. Let's be honest. But anyway, so the mafia, right? I'm like, look, dude, let me just throw it out there, right? Like the Amish mob, and because I watched some other Amish shit with Mama Mama watched some Amish shit. And I was like, oh, that's really weird and interesting. So I'll peek around the corner and check it out for 15 minutes straight and not realize it. And that turned into watching, of course, back to the Amish, the Suddenly Amish show we watched just recently that just came out. Again, James, that's your cousin, girl. I mean, bro, that's your cousin. Bro, that's your third cousin is still your cousin, James. Bro, walk away now before your kids got issues if you move in front of us. All right, so but anyway, and then it was like popped up. It was like because you watch that, you want to watch Irish or Amish Mafia, and I was like, no. And it was like it's because you watch crime shows and you watch this Irish or you watch this Amish show and then you watch crime shows. So now I think you should watch Irish Mafia, and I'm like, or Amish. I keep saying Amish Mafia, and I'm like, what the fuck? Of all the things, like all the gangs, all the street gangs, all the weird to blatantly fucking obvious shit on the planet that comes up, you're telling me that, and I even said, you can't tell me that there aren't some Jewish people that aren't really sticking to the Torah, if you get my drift, and just doing bad shit. And there's the Jewish mob, and I'm like, yeah, shocker that a community of people who may be a ethnic group who also has a faith-based Hebrew faith behind them, right?
Right.
Decided to mafia up. For God's sakes, there's so many times in history in the U.S. where that is literally it. Italian Catholics, mafia.
Yep.
Irish Catholics, still mafia. Protestant Catholics, mafia too.
Yeah, too. Right.
I mean, dude, seriously. So when some of them are obvious, but the Amish one, I was like, bro, you guys are so nice. You don't like anybody, but you're so nice within yourselves. Maybe you do like other people, but I'd be shunned. I'm tattooed, divorced, I
Dude,
got a gay
and
daughter.
they
I'm fucked. I'm getting
they
shunned.
go as far as blackmailing the fucking uh priests, or what do they call them?
Are you talking about or not rabbi? I think they're like the pastor and like the community leader type. Like they're like the governor of the area, basically.
Yeah, they call them something though.
From
Dang
the
it.
church, though.
The
I forget what
bishop.
it's called.
The
Yeah, a
bishop.
bishop. They're a bishop. Yeah. Just like in the Catholic Church, each little regional
Yeah.
area has a bishop.
Yeah.
But anyway,
The
so
mob leader.
hey, the Catholic Church a mafia too, bro.
Yeah, I know. I
Like
mean, I
dead
get it.
ass though. So anyway, there's the Russian mob. We left them out. Ukrainian mob. We left them out. Hey, let's not forget to put a little respect on a triad. They get their respect on it because triad is also it's not just a location. It's also a mafia. Anyway,
Right.
so with that said, it's just crazy. Like,
Yeah.
the Ikuzu. Oh my God, full body
Oh
tattoos that
yeah.
they never show in
Yeah.
public. How could I forget you? Respect on your name. Straight katana blade your ass like a bitch.
Right.
This is why I show respect to the mafia because I'm like, listen, the police only scare me because they can ruin my life. You scare me because you
You could
will
take me
murder
out.
my life.
Right.
The police can murder my life, but they gotta like make up a lot of reasons. It gets a little hard. You gotta come up with a lot of shit. You gotta fake it till you make it, and then hope you don't get caught in court. You won't be in court.
No.
Right? Like, all right, now everybody pause for a brief moment of ominous music. Oh, it didn't play it. I'm hurt by that.
I'm hurt.
Damn it, it didn't work. Oh, when your little audio clip says will not play. Thanks. You ruined it. It was gonna be fun. It was gonna be like all spooky, like, ooh, just all
Fire
ominous,
that
like
intern.
he said Ikuzu. Ominous. There's at least one person of Japanese culture who's gonna hear this and giggle a little.
Yeah,
Because you're
right.
gonna get my underlining jokes there that are really actually funny. But I would love to meet somebody from. Okay, so just for the record, you're appearing remotely on this show because I don't want to die. But
Right.
I would love to like have a show of men and women of the underworld
Underworld.
that would
Yeah.
like to, remote in.
Yeah.
Everything's like private where they'll never find you, right? Unless you say where you are. And
Right.
just tell us a little bit about your life and what's that like to constantly have to like live under the radar and run and hide and
Look
sort of
over
live
your
low key like
shoulder.
that. What's that like for you? Because honestly, if you think living the mob life is like out in the open, I think you're thinking way too much like John Gotti in the '70s. And you know what? Honestly, he paid with a life sentence for that.
Right.
A lot of the mafia was actually felt like he was disrespectful for being out in the open because the black hand is the whole point of it is to be in the shadows, right? Like
Yep.
if you do,
Yep.
I did a lot of research. For the record, I have been friends with, and I haven't talked to in a while. I really feel shameful for even saying I'm friends with now because I don't do social media. For those of you that think that's me you're talking to, you're not. I do not do social media. I do not have social media at all. And so I think that, but I became friends with Chris Cerrone, who played young Henry Hill on Goodfellas. So he played a mob role, and I just picked his brain and had a lot of fun. I love them. I don't love the mob culture in the sense of like I want to be a mafia guy. What I do is I love the romantic version of the mob culture from the 70s and 60s and 50s when I mean I hate to say it, but shit was different.
Yeah.
But also I understand that you are also a problem and a cancer in a sense of you may do a benefit to a neighborhood while also doing a crime, and that's
Mm.
hard pill for me to swallow. Because again,
Right.
back to the bend the rules versus break the rules, extortion is breaking the rules.
Right.
Offering to look out for somebody them and then making a willful donation to you, bending the rules. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I don't know, man. I just think that sports betting in general, from everything from the mafia to the new age, mafia, which is really just
An app.
people behind keyboards with a lot of money, right?
Yep.
I tell people today the new mafia is the rich.
Yeah.
That's the new mafia. Think about
For
it.
sure.
They're
Because
making all the money. They don't want you there. They're bending
Mm.
every rule, if not breaking some of them. Does this sound familiar? I
Oh
just
yeah.
complained about these other people. As a matter of fact, the mafia is
Yeah.
like, what the fuck y'all mad at us for now? Like, seriously,
Right.
bro? That's the mafia today. Mafia out there like, preach, bro. I'm like, no, I'm still not on your side entirely. But I would like to
Right.
hear from you because I'm one of those people that for I just want to leave the show with this, and then Chris, I want you to end the show with whatever you want to say to in response to that, or even something different. But I will say this: I've quite often mentioned living my mindset at the round table. Um, Everyone's equal, even the bad guy. You know what I'm saying? Like even someone who you perceive as the bad guy sitting across the table from you instead of on the same side as you right at the table that you perceive as a bad guy, I've been more than willing to walk around to the other side of the table and sit in their chair, metaphorically, and try to understand maybe where they came from. And while I may still, in a sense, convict you of whatever it is we're saying you did wrong, or side with conviction or punishment as opposed to picking up that you may have done something right. There are times where I have looked mom in the face and I said, listen, before I say this, I just want you to understand that you have to remember that I'm able to mentally walk to the other side of the table and think about things that are so horrible and dark from their perspective and try to understand and sort out where they're coming from. It's why I wouldn't have made a bad defense attorney. But I can't defend somebody. I know you committed the murder. A, B, child predators. I can't defend you. And if you're going to be a defense attorney, you can't just snub your nose at stuff. You can, but I think that if you're going to crawl in that hole, you need to crawl the way in, and you need to be able to look at the other side. One of the things for our show, Chris, is uh, using those techniques and skill sets learned over years, and some of them actually is naturally inherent to me. And walking across the aisle or to the in politics, sitting across the table in the criminal's chair and putting myself on the other side of the glass in that locked up facility in those shackles while they speak and trying to envision why you would think this way, why you would speak this way, why you would be this way. And so I just want you to know that people that here at this show, we really try to not necessarily ever side with the bad guy. That's ridiculous. We actually chastise them, quite frankly. But we really do try to not represent the opposition, but really speak from what we've heard from them for them, whether it be politics, crime, and otherwise. Because I've heard these criminals speak, and this is what they say. Well, I patently disagree with it and find it patently false to think that way. That's what the fuck they said, and we can have an honest conversation about that on this show. Chris.
Yeah, absolutely. Ultimately, due to the show today, we have to step back and think about your actions before you uh, go forth with them. Think about the possible outcomes. And if you feel you need help or think there might be a point you need help, we've given out the number tonight so you guys can possibly find an avenue to get help.
1-800 Gambler.
So, yeah, don't be afraid to make that phone call, um, whether you have a problem or not. It may be an outlet to change a bad outcome in your life. So
I mean, I thought
I just want
caveat out there that most insurances cover a couple counseling sessions a year, and that
right.
can be for gambling addiction.
Yes, absolutely. So, I mean, just know that there's avenues that can take you down different roads that will lead you to better outcome.
Right. Wise words from a obviously wise man who I've many times turned to for advice from something as simple as, you know, how should I deal with something plain in day in life, all the way to something as complex as, how should I attack a literal sitting president? Because when I do this, I want to do it skillful, willful, and with a bit of sassy, classy bitch style. Because I was taught by my homies. But
Yeah, right.
I also want to do it in a way that the FBI doesn't knock on my door and be like, yo, you know what the fuck you said was stupid, and now we're here to fuck with you because you're an idiot. So, and I've
Right.
always looked at Chris like, hey man, listen, if we're gonna do this, I just want you to know that if I start going straight Ozzy Osbourne off the rails of the crazy train, well, you know the answer. So
Right.
anyway, I really appreciate you as always. Thank you so much
Oh
for
yeah.
being part of the show. Um, the what was next week? Dang it.
Afro
Um,
Man.
oh, I was like, I know I wrote it down, but
It's
I don't know. I'm
our
forgetting.
homie.
Yeah, next week, Afro Man, friend of the show. He won't be on the show. I don't want to mislead anybody or misrepresent.
Yeah.
But Afro Man is a huge friend of the Wake and Bake America show. I have been a personal DJ for him when he's come into my city several times.
Yes.
While he's not my friend of like a personal aspect, he is definitely a friend in the business realm of doing business and music and working for somebody and somebody doing stuff for you. But we became friends enough, and he became such good friends with one of my close friends that we have an image liner that we will be absolutely the only one we're using during this fucking trial thing. Like, sorry
Yes.
to everybody else. Bubba Sparks, we love you. Thanks for that one. Cami Renee, for all the liners you've done for us. Thank you for those. And then all the ones that DJ Michaels either imported, created, and or otherwise that we were able to sort of reuse in a loose format state setting. Thank you all for everything that you've given to me to use and never given me a legal hard time about it. That's probably partly what it's the
Right.
most. With Afro Man, he actually made this for me, and I have the
Yes.
legal right to use it for the rest of my life. And it is a personal image liner that was made for me. And I'm just like, dude, how cool is
And we love playing it, so
he made it for Jay Easy too, but when Jay left, we edited it down, of course.
yep. Yep.
Um, but and I told him, I said, we're going to take Jay Easy out of it because he's running for politics, yada yada. So there's,
Yeah.
if you've been around the show long enough, you know the story. I'm not going to repeat it, but if you haven't, stick around. We'll probably repeat it again. Let's get out of here. I've got to go do
Oh.
some stretching because I've been working out hard, bro. My gains, like I'm like
You
I'm like you're going to think I might punch you in the face if you try me ripped now. I
I
won't.
always
I'm
knew
actually really
I
nice,
always,
but I just love being
yeah,
sexy.
but
I do. I like to
all
look in
right.
the mirror and be like, man, you looking good. She gonna like that. She gonna love that. I do it for her, but I do it for me. All right. You know what?
Right.
I'm out.
Let's get out. Love you.
Love you too, man. Peace out.
Yo, son, bringing back America Radio.
Tell your friends about this.
Tell your friends jump in the GS3. I got the chronic by the tree.